Hello and welcome. My name is Lee Matthew Jackson. Today, let's talk about social media metrics that you can use to measure success. First of all, if you are watching me live, thank you very much for joining me. I would love to see some emojis, a hello, a GIF, a whatever. Just share with me that you are here and that you are keeping me company. As always, let's do the sound check. If you have any issues with the sound, we have tested, but please do let us know in the comments. Today, I want to have a conversation about social media and how we could be measuring the success of the activities that we engage with. So let's get everything queued up. Again, please do comment. If you're watching the replay, please let us know by typing in the words replay, and let's go ahead and get cracking. Social media metrics to measure success. Let's set the scene. We recognized as a business that we are investing a lot of time in social media. We are creating content. We have 300 podcasts. We have 300 YouTube videos. We have at least 100 live streams in different areas. We are everywhere. And yet, we are not measuring the success of the activities we are engaging with. We're not focused and being purposeful. We are just going for the numbers. We're going all out, being in all places, but we are not seeing the consistent growth that we want to see. We are not seeing people engage in a way that we would want to see them engage. We do not know thoroughly if what we are doing is working, nor do we know how to improve upon what we are doing. This is something that we've recognized over the last few weeks and months. We put out all this content and we don't market it effectively. We simply share it a couple of times and hope for the best. And that is not necessarily the best social strategy. Neither is us engaging in all of this activity, being in the Facebook groups, being on Twitter, doing live streams, doing all of these different activities, and not really measuring whether or not these are being effective. Are we getting the results that we want as a business from the social media activity that we are engaging with? Or is this just all one big massive project and one big massive hobby for Lee Matthew Jackson that likes to show up live? So what we did was we met last week and we had a discussion. And we said, what do we want to measure so that we can then start to understand if what we are engaging with is working and what may need to change? We recognize that we need to have outcomes. Just like in an event that we may plan, we want outcomes for our attendees. Just like when we have a podcast episode that we plan, we want outcomes for that listener. Just like when I build a website for somebody, I want to help them get outcomes. We're also focused on the outcomes for other people. We so often forget about the outcomes for ourselves. And we listed some outcomes, i.e. some measurables that we could use to understand whether what we were doing was being effective. Were we being able to produce the results that we wanted to produce? And we realized all of a sudden that we didn't really understand what results we wanted. As we were discussing, we recognized that we had a few fair ideas that we wanted to see an increase in subscription, an increase in engagement, etc. We wanted to see more sales, but we weren't really being purposeful. We weren't measuring that. We weren't looking at past episodes. We weren't looking at past content, at past posts, and looking at the data and seeing where did we go right and where did we go wrong. Nor were we even looking at that past data and making it work for us. So, for example, with hundreds of videos on YouTube, we've neglected keyword research, we've neglected SEO on every single video, we've neglected things like thumbnails, all sorts of stuff that we could do with that evergreen content that could rank in social media, and in the search engines, that could continue to serve its purpose. And yet we've let that go and it's just become a historical piece of content. So what we did was we came up with a few metrics, and these metrics are what we will be using. These are essentially the outcomes that we want. And this is what we will be using as we now plan our future in social media as a business. These are the things that we want to focus on. Will our activities, number one, lead into audience growth? And that is audience growth across the podcast. That's driving traffic to the website. That's driving traffic to YouTube, so that's watches, watch times, etc. That's also driving traffic and growing the group. We want to see audience growth. We want to know that we are being able to reach more people. And frankly, we've stagnated over the last maybe year and a half because we put out the content, but we don't market it. We don't go out purposefully on social media. We just simply share what we've done and then carry on with our day. Therefore, our growth, which over the years has continued to grow as a constant spike, has kind of flatlined for a little bit during COVID, which is quite a surprise, but also not a surprise because we've not been intentional. Next thing, we want to generate leads. We want to know that our activities, the activities that we are engaging in, are converting people into signups for something. They are signing up for a free email booklet, a workshop. They're signing up for a webinar. They're emailing us with questions, asking about particular services. We want to see an increase in general day-to-day leads because of the social media activity that we are engaging with. The social media we have out there should be working for us, and we can track where did these leads come from. Just yesterday, we were taking a look at Client Joy. And Client Joy has the ability to track where lead sources came from. So I would always recommend in your CRM system that you will attribute how somebody found you, how that lead came into your business, so that you can track, A, was it on social media? And B, what type of social media was it? Maybe even what post it came from, so you can start to understand what sort of activities you are engaging with that help you generate more leads. That's what we will be doing. We've actually gone through past posts going, wow, that sort of content works really well for us. Maybe we should do more of that. Next, we want to look at that same data, look at those leads in our CRM system that have been generated and say, okay, well, of these leads, of these 500 signups that we've had over the last 3 or 4 months, how many of those have converted into sales? How many people have engaged with us on a service, or how many people have engaged with us on a course? Because obviously we're now selling courses, etc. So let's see what's the percentage. Did they come in through that channel, or do we have people who have bought direct because they're already an existing audience member, i.e. part of the group, and already invested in us and already brand aware, etc. So again, we can start to use this as one of the measurements we will track as a business to say, okay, we're engaging in all of this social media activity. It is generating this amount of leads. These leads are coming from these sorts of posts. Of these leads, we are converting this many into sales. Therefore, let's continue to boost our leads, but also let's continue to look at our messaging perhaps, because perhaps our conversion is too low versus the amount of leads that we generate. So these are all things that we can continuously look at. These are essentially the outcomes that we want, but we can establish them as our metrics, as our measurements. There's lots of mini measurements to go inside each one of these categories. There are things that we need to look at and work out. But really, with these as our core goals, as our high-level measurements, this is going to allow us to focus on the activities that we are engaging with. Speaking of engaging, engagement is the next one. We want to see an increase on engagement. I'm going to share with you a tool. Tristan, who I am sure is watching this, will send you a link, put a link underneath for a product that he would highly recommend. And we've also been testing as a result of Tristan's recommendation. But we want to see an increase in engagement. We want to see likes and dislikes. I'm happy with dislikes as well on YouTube. We just want to see that people are engaging. We want people to comment on YouTube. We want people to share. It's the same again in Facebook, in Twitter, etc. We want people to be answering questions, filling in polls, sharing images, sharing videos, asking us questions, getting involved. And we're seeing that happens a lot in, say, the Facebook group itself, but that's already a tried and tested and true community. But we want to do that further afield. We want to see these live streams on multiple channels getting engagement from all those different places. We want to see an increase in that engagement. So that's something that we will continue to track. And then finally, overall brand awareness. We want our brand, that's excuse me, the brand of Lee Matthew Jackson, to be recognizable. That's why we've got the brand, the imagery. We're using the full name. I say it all the time. So we want to increase brand recognition. We want to increase the brand awareness as well of Agency Trailblazer. We want Agency Trailblazer to be known as the resource for agency owners that want to build an agency that they love. We want Agency Trailblazer to be front and center of mind. We want Lee Matthew Jackson to be front and center of mind when it comes to learning how to run an agency that you love, to grow a business that you enjoy being a part of, that pays you well. So those are our 5 even outcomes / measurements. We've got audience growth, we have got lead generation, we have got sales conversions, we have got engagement, and finally we have got brand awareness. They're the outcomes. They're what we're going to align all of our measurements with. Now, Tristan, let's see. Let's go to comments. Tristan, have you you have, yes, and he's used his special link. It's nomad9.com / try Agora Pulse. I believe you get 2 months. Well, I know you get 2 months free if you try the special code, because I am enjoying those 2 months free right now. Agora Pulse is pretty good. From what I've seen so far. It doesn't give me reporting on YouTube, but then there are other tools for that. But it gives me a lot of reporting. It allows me to put competitors in there so I can do some competitor analysis. It does allow me to also see who my most engaged people are and track engagement and run reports, so I can see over a period of time my engagement is either growing or dipping, and I can then compare that to different months, etc. There is also social media posting and scheduling within that, so it's essentially a nice all-in-one with reporting, and it's something that we've certainly enjoyed using. And I know Tristan, this is on the screen, Tristan is absolutely besotted with this product, to the extent that he drinks a coffee cup with Agora Pulse on and wears a top. So yeah, please do. It's just like me with Cloudways, isn't it? I'm always branded as Cloudways. He's always branded as Agora Pulse. So please do go ahead and check that out as well. That's certainly what we are using when it comes to trying to measure most of these. So let's just have that conversation very quickly as a recap, and then I'm going to jump off. Got a busy day, but you are engaging in social media activity, and it's really important that if you're spending time doing stuff, that it is actually working for you. And in fact, Tristan said just further on, where is it? Time to track, measure, and refine. That's a great statement, Tristan. We need to be measuring, and the measurements that the goals, that we've set are to increase our audience growth across podcast, website, YouTube, live streams, the groups, to increase our lead generation, email signups, all that sort of stuff, landing pages, to increase our sales conversions, so that's to attract those leads and convert those sales into, say, course sales, etc. To increase overall engagement on all the social activity that we are doing, and whatever doesn't get engagement, we change, refine. Whatever we do, we stop doing a certain thing if we're not getting the results that we're looking for. And finally, we want to raise that brand awareness. And like I said, we're pretty much checking out and working with, for the last month now, the tool that Tristan recommended to us. It's nomad9.com / try Agora Pulse. Folks, thank you so much for your time. Let's have a quick look. I like to listen to your voice. Thank you, Thomas. Please measure this as a positive output / result. That's okay. Hello, Thomas. How are you? That's awesome. Let's have a look. KPI. Love me some key performance indicators. Nice. Yes. Oh, and Agora Pulse also includes social listening. This will help with this. See what others are talking about, and also join relevant conversations as a brand. Absolutely. So, folks, remember that. It's nomad9 / try Agora Pulse. We're trying it out too, and we're enjoying it. Thank you very much, Tristan, for the recommendation. Don't forget, when you are planning your social media activities and engaging, then please be sure to set some measurements, set some outcomes, work towards them, measure what you are doing, refine, and keep pushing on. Spoken from the guy who's just spent 5 years creating hundreds of podcasts, hundreds of videos, sharing lots of random images, and only really had a strategy for the first 1.5 years, and then just kind of let all that go and just kept posting and hoping for the best. So we're getting serious. This is me being honest. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you've got some value from this, and hope you all enjoy using the tool. Anastasios, great talk, and thanks for sharing. Mate, you're a legend. Thank you, buddy. Folks, have a wonderful day. And don't forget, if you cannot be good, I implore you, please be careful.